Paul,
Huh?
Paul,
Who's there?
Paul. Here,
Where? This is kind of spooky.
it's me, your inner self.
My what? You're really... You're me? Come on. Where are you?
I'd like to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
This is serious, right? Well, you're here, so what can I say? You know, just don't dig too deep, all right?
Okay, well, it's kind of awkward for me, but, well, the fact of the matter is that death is closing in on you, Paul. Does this bother you? Do you ever give it much thought?
Death? No, never crossed my mind. Or yours either, right? You're my inner self, for that matter. It never crossed your mind either.
Right.
Right? Oh.
Now, I want to know how you really feel about your own death.
Pretty much the same as you do, I suppose.
No, seriously, what are your thoughts about the world without Paul Rector?
Well, it sucks.
Pardon me?
I said it sucks.
Come again.
Well, first, I'm not the only Paul Rector in the world, you know. There's you, right? And according to Facebook and LinkedIn and all these other packaged social formats, there's a whole pack of us running around out there doing God knows what and saying hi when someone said, "Hey there, Paul, how you doing?" And that's not even counting all these Episcopalian rectors named Paul.
But you said it sucks. What sucks? Do you mean death sucks?
No, man, the question sucks. What would you say if someone asked you how you feel about death, huh?
I'm the interviewer, Paul.
Well, I'm you.
But that's beside the point. Come on.
Well, they say that death is inevitable.
I'm not interested in they. I want to talk about you. You must feel something more about death than its inevitability. Seriously, how do you think you'll die, Paul?
Well, how do I think I'm going to die? I'm hoping I'll forget to die, just like I've been forgetting everything else recently.
But suppose you remember.
Well, if I remember, I guess I'd like to go out with a laugh. Yeah, I'd like them all to say, old Paul, he just looked death right in the eyeball, and he started laughing like a mother...
Watch the language, Paul. I'm recording this interview.
I can't help it. This is how my friends talk, you know. How about laughing like your mother? Is that permissible?
You know she never laughed that much.
I guess you're right. Now that I think about it, I guess she did spend a lot of time crying, too. Yeah, she was a crier.
Come on, back to the question. I mean, how do you think you'll die? What might be the cause of your demise?
Is death demise? Is it some kind of failure? I don't know anything about that, you know, and you don't know either because you're me.
Every death has a cause. I'm trying to find out what you suppose might end up being the cause of your own death.
That's dumb question number 2, I think, is what's the cause? Anger? Angst? I don't know. It might be anxiety, fear, apprehension, worry, foreboding, trepidation, malaise, disquietude, uneasiness. I don't know. It could be frustration with the city office, or maybe the tax office, or the Social Security office. Could be medical malpractice, maybe overeating, too many TV commercials, too much raggedy-ass exercise at the old folks' home. I've always been too tall, you know. How the hell should I know? But if I don't get hit by a car, or bitten by a snake, or eaten by a bear in the forest while I'm walking my dogs up here in the woods, I'm pretty sure it'll be some kind of malady cocktail, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that mixed together.
What do you think will go first? Your heart, your brain, your lungs?
Where'd you get these questions, man? Maybe all three, I don't know. Maybe my John Thomas. Who knows? Who can say? Could be lead poisoning. I don't know. Can you see? I got this little pencil lead. It's been stuck inside my middle finger here on my left hand for 55 years. You can see it. You should be able to see it right here. It's a little blue, darkish thing. Maybe I'll choke on a piece of a rice cake or just get out of doing any more dumb interviews like this. I might, drink myself to death. I don't know. You got any ideas?
I'm asking the questions. Look, if you had to guess, what do you suppose might get you when your name's been called?
Well, first, who's going to call my name? Nobody even knows my cell phone number, let alone the angel of death. And besides, the reception out here in the woods is terrible. Nobody ever calls me but my wife. She's asking me to pick up some dog food or some Tabasco sauce on the way home anyway. Nobody calls.
Look, it's just a metaphor.
Well, actually, I think it's a kind of personification. There's one thing for sure. It'll be the same thing that gets you when our time comes. Seriously. But I do want to answer your question. I don't hear as well as I used to. Keiko says it's because I choose what I want to hear and what I don't want to hear. My eyesight's getting worse. My teeth aren't as useful now as they used to be. I've got pains in my neck and pains in my back. Hell, man, I got pains in my pains. My heart has to be exhausted after lugging my heavy ass around for 60-odd years. My knees are shot, my muscle tone is off key, my ankles make enough noise to wake the dead when I walk. Even my arches ache. Yeah, my arches at the end of the day, Did you ever think we'd have arch aches? Headaches? Yeah. Earaches? Sure. Toothaches, stomach aches, back aches. What the hell? Even an occasional heartache. But arch aches? Damn. I've been on this BP medicine and some other shit that's supposed to keep my blood younger and cleaner and smoother and flowing than it should be for any man our age. Like I said, it's probably going to be some kind of malady cocktail.
Are you ready for it?
Aren't you?
Okay. How has life treated you over the years, Paul?
Number 3. What have I got for contrast? I suppose it could have been worse if I had been a little dumber, maybe a little better if I'd had a few more smarts. The one thing I can say with confidence, though, is that I've tried to enjoy myself as much as I possibly can.
How do you mean?
How do I mean? Years ago, I think you and I spent too much time caring about the little things in life, worrying about what people might think or how they might feel about something. Something we may have said or something we may have done. I don't know. Well, if I had my life to live over again, the second time I wouldn't give a rat's ass about what the other guys think. Especially what they think about me today. That's just not it.
I can't follow you here. What little things are you talking about?
Well, let me explain, man. Do you remember old Bernie Yudkowsky over in Englewood, New Jersey? He used to tell these god-awful jokes that didn't make any sense to anyone. And when he'd finish his joke, he'd wait a few seconds for this non-existent laughter to subside, and then when he thought the timing was just right, he'd look at you with a twinkle in his eye, nod his head up and down and say, "Think about it." Well, doofus, just think about it. That's my answer.
Do you have any regrets?
Regrets? I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention.
Regrets?
Sorry. Think about it. Same ones you had. I guess. I don't know. I don't count them. My name ain't Earl, for Christ's sakes.
What do you think about Paul?
Now, things like, have I had lunch yet? Who hid my glasses? Where's the goddamn remote? Who was that fool I ran into in the mall yesterday? I can't remember his name. Where's the fingernail clipper? It's supposed to be in this drawer, and it's not there. Who stole my car keys? Can the Celtics ever get their act together again? Where's the whatchamacallit? I'm thinking about just crud like this most of the time.
That's not quite what I had in mind.
Come on, P. I can't tell you what I'm really thinking, especially if you're recording this.
Why not?
Well, in the first place, I'm too old to be thinking about it all the time.
What, food?
No.
Drink?
No, not anymore. I'm peeing too much as it already is.
Money?
No way. Mom was right. Man, she told us the money was more trouble than it's ever going to be worth,
Sex?
Huh? Mom was sure way off the mark there.
Okay, I won't push this any further. My last question. Are you making any plans for your death beforehand?
Right. Yeah, neither one of us has ever made a plan of any kind. We're both these hardcore, dyed-in-the-wool, etched on the crystal, carved in the marble fatalists. We don't make plans.
You have to be kidding.
Well, just a little. Actually, I do have a couple of pans on the fire. First, like I said, I'm hoping to forget to die. I'm planning to avoid death for as long as I can.
But how?
Huh? Well, you said that was your last question. Was that your last question? You want to take that back?
No, thank you.
Well, if and when the big D does drop in, I plan to take it flat on my back. Before I go, I plan to eat a dozen pepperoni pizzas, a few cartons of those monster Japanese strawberries, 3 or 4 plates of my wife's cheese, green pepper omelets, a couple of quarts of Lady Borden's chocolate ice cream, and down it all with a keg of frosty Ebisu beer. Yeah, man, and just before I explode, I plan to call the crematory myself. Have them start stoking the fire, a few hours before I get there.
Looks like our time is running out, Paul. Anyway, I want to thank you. It's been enlightening.
Well, hang on just a second there, Pete. I'm not finished yet. I want them to make damn well sure that I'm dead as a doornail before they wheel me into the oven. All right? Then I want them to put the TV remote in my left hand, the mouse to my Mac in my right hand, and I want someone to smash my cell phone. And then when there's nothing left, but the ashes and the dust and the rare earth, I'd like it if they could deliver that little package to the tax office. Later on, I just might come back and haunt the hell out of all my so-called buddies, all those guys who they were so glad it was me that bought the farm and not them. And maybe, just maybe, I might also try and get me a little, over here they call it like this,